Sports includes all forms of competitive physical activity or games which, through casual or organized participation, at least in part aim to use, maintain, or improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to participants, and in some cases, entertainment for spectators. Sports can bring positive results to one's physical health. In fact, it is one of the golden instruments in relieving stress. Hundreds of sports exist, from those between single contestants, through to those with hundreds of simultaneous participants, either in teams or competing as individuals. In this video, we are going to look at the top 10 sports which have been played worldwide. So, before going into this video, please ensure that you have subscribed our channel. Number 10. Golf. Golf, originated in 15th century Scotland, is a club handball sport in which players use various clubs to hit balls into a series of holes on a course in as few strokes as possible. The 18-hole round was created at the Old Course at St Andrews in 1764. Golf, unlike most ball games, cannot and does not utilize a standardized playing area, and coping with the varied terrains encountered on different courses is a key part of the game. Number 9. Baseball. Baseball, originated from Japan, is a bat and ball game played between two opposing teams who take turns batting and fielding. The game proceeds when a player on the fielding games, called the pitcher, throws a ball which a player on the batting team tries to hit with a bat. The objective of the offensive team, batting team, is to hit the ball into the field of play, allowing its players to run the bases, having them advance counterclockwise around 4 bases to score what are called runs. The objective of the defensive team, fielding team, is to prevent batters from becoming runners, and to prevent runners advance around the bases. A run is scored when a runner legally advances around the bases in order and touches home plate, the place where the player started as a batter. The team that scores the most runs by the end of the game is the winner. Number 8. Table tennis. Table tennis, originated in Victorian England, also known as ping pong, is a sport in which 2 or 4 players hit a lightweight ball, also known as the ping pong ball, back and forth across a table using small rackets. The game takes place on a hard table divided by a net. Except for the initial serve, the rules are generally as follows. Players must allow a ball played toward them to bounce one time on their side of the table, and must return it so that it bounces on the opposite side at least once. A point is scored when a player fails to return the ball within the rules. Number 7. Cricket. Cricket is a bat and ball game played between 2 teams of 11 players on a field at the center of which is a 22-yard, 20-meter, pitch with a wicket at each end, each comprising 2 bails balanced on 3 stumps. The batting side scores runs by striking the ball bowled at the wicket with the bat, and running between the wickets, while the bowling and fielding side tries to prevent this, by preventing the ball from leaving the field, and getting the ball to either wicket, and dismiss each batter, so they are out. Means of dismissal include being bowled, when the ball hits the stumps and dislodges the bails, and by the fielding side either catching the ball after it is hit by the bat, but before it hits the ground, or hitting a wicket with the ball before a batter can cross the crease in front of the wicket. When 10 batters have been dismissed, the innings ends and the teams swap roles. The game is adjudicated by 2 umpires, aided by a 3rd umpire and match referee in international matches. They communicate with 2 off-field scorers who record the match's statistical information. Number 6. Tennis. Tennis is a racket sport that can be played individually against a single opponent, singles, or between 2 teams of 2 players each, doubles. Each player uses a tennis racket that is strung with cord to strike a hollow rubber ball covered with felt over or around a net and into the opponent's court. The object of the game is to maneuver the ball in such a way that the opponent is not able to play a valid return. The player who is unable to return the ball will not gain a point, while the opposite player will. Number 5. Basketball. Basketball is a team sport in which two teams, most commonly of 5 players each, opposing one another on a rectangular court, compete with the primary objective of shooting a basketball, approximately 9.4 inches, 24 centimeters, in diameter, through the defender's hoop, a basket 18 inches, 46 centimeters, in diameter mounted 10 feet 3.048 meters high to a backboard at each end of the court, while preventing the opposing team from shooting through their own hoop. A field goal is worth 2 points, unless made from behind the 3-point line, when it is worth 3. After a foul, timed play stops and the player fouled or designated to shoot a technical foul is given 1, 2 or 3 one-point free throws. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins, but if regulation play expires with the score tied, an additional period of play, overtime, is mandated. Number 4. Volleyball. Volleyball is a team sport in which 2 teams of 6 players are separated by a net. Each team tries to score points by grounding a ball on the other team's court. A player on one of the teams begins a rally by serving the ball, tossing or releasing it, and then hitting it with a hand or arm from behind the back boundary line of the court, over the net and into the receiving team's court. The receiving team must not let the ball be grounded within their court. The team may touch the ball up to 3 times, but individual players may not touch the ball twice consecutively. Typically, the first 2 touches are used to set up for an attack, an attempt to direct the ball back over the net in such a way that the serving team is unable to prevent it from being grounded in their court. Number 3. Field hockey. Hockey is a sport in which 2 teams play against each other by trying to trick a ball, or a puck into the opponent's goal using a hockey stick. Field hockey is played on gravel, natural grass, or sand-based or water-based artificial turf, with a small, hard ball approximately 73 mm, 2.9 in diameter. Number 2. Badminton. Badminton is a racket sport played using rackets to hit a shuttlecock across a net. Although it may be played with larger teams, the most common forms of the game are singles, with 1 player per side, and doubles, with 2 players per side. Badminton is often played as a casual outdoor activity in a yard or on a beach. Formal games are played on a rectangular indoor court. Points are scored by striking the shuttlecock with the racket and landing it within the opposing side's half of the court. Number 1. Soccer. Soccer is a team sport played with a spherical ball between 2 teams of 11 players. It is played by approximately 250 million players in over 200 countries and dependencies, making it the world's most popular sport. The game is played on a rectangular field called a pitch with a goal at each end. The object of the game is to outscore the opposition by moving the ball beyond the goal line into the opposing goal. The team with the higher number of goals wins the game. The important takeaway from this video is that sports must be a compulsory 1-hour activity of our daily busy routine. Each one of us have to be involved in at least one sport to keep us fit and remain healthy throughout our lifetime.